All right. My bad.
I like how you dropped that in there right before you started recording, though.
Brian. Love you too, Brian. Love you too, Brian. Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. So the hexadecimal system, right? Okay. It first starts off, the numbering system, it starts off 0 to 9, right? Single numbers, you can tell 0 is the lowest number, 9 is the highest number. Okay. So after 9, right, is 10, 11, 12. But you're not going to see that in anything hexadecimal. So whenever they were creating the hexadecimal numbering system back in the day, they went ahead and said, let's go ahead and represent 10 by a single letter. So then it can fit within, anything hexadecimal or MAC address or anything like that. So the number 10 starts at the letter A, letter B, 11, C, so on and so forth, right? And it just keeps going on, and I believe it stops at Dre. Keep me honest here. Keep me honest. I believe
it stops at F, which is 15. Yep.
15. Okay, 15. Yeah. So it stops at 15. So you only have to worry about till F, right? And so what you're doing, right? And we're gonna take a look at it. Whenever you're going through a MAC address, right? Let me show you this. We'll do the exercise here.
So you can kind of configure this by hand too, if needed be.
What, the MAC address?
You can kind of figure out the values by hand.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because and I won't go too deep. I'll wait till you get to that point of your studies where you're getting deep into hexadecimal. But what you can do, right, is you want to go, number by number, digit by digit in the MAC address table. So here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create another node. Go ahead and bring another switch in this thing. Boom. And then I'm not going to invite nobody else to this because this is really supposed to be Dre's session, to be honest.
Gotcha.
So
that's why I was saying we have to go through it right now. We could have just,
Nah, it's all good. It's all good.
I ain't stingy, dog.
It's all good. I didn't want to make it into a big thing, not just for you, for myself. Nigga, we about to go over this. I'm bouncing. So let me go ahead and this right here.
I was finna say you about to mix it up. You putting routers in there. I was like, oh yeah.
I ain't about to listen. I would never do that. Not yet. I ain't gonna confuse y'all just yet.
But look, that man, when I was on that the video earlier, bro, many things started to click. Just looking at
Oh, Kevin Wallace? Kevin Wallace?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's my boy. Yo, he's nice with it because he gets strictly to the point and he doesn't add extra fluff. He just, bro, here you go.
And he actually he adds in a lot of like real life references too. With the real life references, it actually ties in and it helps you to understand it. So it's more conversational and it's you looking at it like, oh dang, okay, cool. But I understand now blocking ports and just like looking at a topology, it's like, okay, looking at this, you do this. If the same cost both go to the root bridge, you would then have 2 root ports. Then each port coming out of the root port are designated ports. Then you have to have that bottom level, you have to have a blocking port. So blocking port tied to a designated port. So just making it make sense. Bro, and when you was talking to me and we were doing that lab, bro, I felt bad. I was like, let me go back and let me study all of this and look at this.
Yeah. You're not gonna get it overnight, bro. You got to be at it to make it second nature.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna take time. Go ahead. I think we should be done after this. So we're gonna go high school for a little bit. Take out my handy dandy marker.
Notepad.
Blue's Clues fan, man. Let me take out my handy dandy notebook. Calm that down. Go ahead and that.
It's a little lopsided.
You said what happened?
Man.
All right. And oh shit. All right, cool. All right, so everywhere, you know, by hand or we're just looking at it with our brains, you know, somebody's MAC address, and we're trying to identify, okay, the first thing first within a redundant topology, we got to identify who the root bridge is, right? The root bridge is typically, you know, y'all know, somebody with the lowest bridge ID. What that is the priority plus the MAC address of the switch. I haven't provided you guys with with any different VLAN, so we're going to assume, it's great to assume that it's just still we're using VLAN 1. So now the next tiebreaker is going to the MAC address within the bridge ID for the tiebreaker of who has the lowest, right? So typically, we're looking at this, right? And we see there are different MAC addresses here, but some of the values are the same, and you'll see this, right? The first, keep me honest here, fellas, I believe the OUI, right, is unique to a vendor, right? Unique to a company. So Cisco starts off with theirs, Apple starts off with theirs. That's the first 3 optics is dedicated to their company. Then the last 3 is unique. Keep me honest here, fellas, I may be wrong, but that's typically how it is. So it's going to be the same for this first 3. Okay. Let's not worry about that right now. We're gonna straight up keep it bare bones, and we're gonna do it the slow, elimination process. Okay. So we're trying to elect the root bridge. What are we gonna do? We're gonna look at the MAC address. So we're gonna look at each one. Okay, this has a 0. The other one has a 0. Yep, it does. Let's go ahead and mark that off. Cool. All right. Next, process of elimination. This one has an A, so that one has a 10. Does that one has a 10? Yes, that has a 10. Mark it off, mark it off. Cool. See where I'm going with this?
Yep.
And so we're still marking, right? We're still going through and we're comparing, right? We're still comparing, until we get to here, okay? Until we get to here. We get to that last octave. Right? Okay. So we get to that last octave, right? Okay. So that first digit, that's what we're looking at. Who has the lowest one of them all? Okay. It's going to be switch between switch 2 and switch 3. They have the first octave, that's the same. So this one, switch 1 is going to lose. It's going to lose that election process to become the root bridge. Now, since switch 2 and switch 3, they match up. Now we have to go to the next octave and go through the elimination process. So now we have to go and see, all right, who has the lowest one? 0 or 1? Switch 3 or switch 2? Switch 3. So switch 3 becomes the root bridge.
Perfect.
Simple as that. Simple as that. Right? And you're doing that, you're doing that for each digit. It's just a process of elimination. Let's say, for example, somebody erase that. Say for example, right? Move this here. Say for example. Cool. Who won this process? Who has the lowest MAC?
Still 3, right?
3.
Why?
That it beats it out by that last the last octet should be 0 0 0 1. 0 0 is 0. So looking at those two, that one looks like to be the lowest one.
You mean this first octave?
No, the last, very last. So it's all the same all the way up into
Nope.
that last number.
Nope, not at all.
Hold on, which one are you looking at?
We're looking at all the MAC addresses, right? And so, like I said, we're doing the process of elimination at each octet, starting at the first digit. Okay, who's the lowest out of the first
never
digit?
mind.
000. Okay,
I didn't realize you changed that one at the bottom on the left.
Yep, change it up. So then we look at it, see, okay, the first, switch 2 and switch 3, they match up for the first one. Cool, what about the second one? Who's the lowest? Switch 2 has a 1, switch 3 has a 0, so switch 3 wins.
Right.
We only have to go through the rest of the MAC address. So
Gotcha.
You're doing that process of elimination if need be, right? Let's say let's say you and Dre is in charge of a school, you guys have a stack of switches, right? And you buy them all at the same time. I'm assuming they're going to have the same vendor MAC address and they're going to go in sequential order. The one that you probably got the first is probably going to go all the way to that last octet. Then you'll do that process of elimination. But that's not always the case because you probably have some older switches or different vendors, and they may they may have the lowest MAC address rather than your Ruckus or your Cisco product. So being able to do this by hand, you won't get confused whenever something's not working within your topology when trying to do the election process. That makes sense?
Yep.
It does.
Cool. Go ahead. Fix all this. Cool. Now, Trey, I'm gonna go ahead and now that you have all this information, go ahead and convert the elect the root bridge and tell me which one is the root bridge. I'll mark it for you, and I want you to converge the topology. What that means is identify the root port states, identify the switch states and roles of each port on each switch.
All right.
Yeah.
So, root 3 would be the root bridge, port 0, the lowest MAC address.
Perfect. Cool.
Port 01 and port 03 will be both designated.
There'll be a designated switch?
No, those would be designated ports.
Okay, so the port's going to be designated. Okay.
Yes, and then
so before we go to the other switches, let's stay on the root switch. What is going to be the port states and roles of the root switch?
01 and 03 will both be designated.
Why? And what does designated mean? What function is it doing? What's the state?
Let's see. Down. Trying to word it properly.
Take your time.
They're accepting incoming data, right? Or incoming incoming data. And I know all ports. I know all ports on the root switch are all designated. None should be in blocking state. As far as go ahead.
No. So let me help you out here, right? So you're right. It's designated, right? And the reason being, right, because the root is the meeting point for all the switches, right? So we need all ports to be forwarding their traffic. So that's what I was looking for. I was looking for forwarding.
Got you. That's
the state that's in. So designated, it's always going to be forwarding.
Okay.
Make sense? Or and a root port's always going to be forwarding as well because it needs to be able to contact the root. Okay.
Got you.
Make sense? Perfect.
Yes, sir.
All right. Cool. So let's go ahead and go through these other switches. Let's start with switch 1. What is the port state and role of gigabit 0/1 and why?
0 would be the root port. That's the that would be the shortest or the lowest cost route to the root bridge.
And what's the cost?
Well, I'm assuming they are the same.
which is
they're not titled.
They are. They're gigabit.
Oh, sorry, gig. Sorry, yeah, you're right, gig. So that would be 1,000 megs.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the cost?
That's shoot. Hold
Right,
on.
you can help them out.
So quick question. Did you say in the beginning that we're assuming that all of these are the same?
Oh, is that 19?
The 100
Nope,
megabits.
that's 100 megs.
Okay.
100 is 19, right?
Yep. Look, you're close, Dre, though. You're close.
Huh?
God,
No,
man,
Dre's
hold on.
close.
'Cause I know I got a screenshot of them bad boys. Damn, Brian, you ain't gonna throw your boy a lifeline, bro?
Oh yeah, I got you. So
looking at the
Cold piece of work, bro.
So I'm asking. So with all of the costs are even.
Is that 4?
There we go.
Thanks, Brian.
Hold on, I thought you said 100 megabits per second.
That's a gig, bro.
100 megabits is 19.
100 is 19.
100 megs is 19. Has a cost of 19.
Yeah, so it's not one gigabit is 4.
Oh,
that's what he said.
Now he helps me.
No. That's why I was asking, because I know in the beginning he said that I think we're establishing that all connections are 100 megabits. So which means that each link would be
right.
We look at the interface, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. They're gigabit interfaces.
Yeah, I didn't say there were 100 megs.
Okay.
That was my mistake by assuming that. That was my mistake by assuming that.
Gotcha. So yeah, if you're looking at these are 19. So
yeah,
you got your designated.
They're not 19, Brian. You keep saying the wrong thing.
Hold on, wait.
Jesus Christ.
Oh no, sorry. Never mind. These are 4. These are 4. Okay. Well, even if they were all even, it's gonna be the same.
So Brian, sit on the bench for a little bit. I'm gonna bench you, and this is mostly for Dre. Dre. So
yes, sir.
So because you're an engineer, right? And I'm gonna treat you as such.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, can you give your explanation as to why you chose that first interface on switch 1 to be the designated port and to be in a forwarding state?
I didn't say designated for that one.
You didn't.
I said root.
Root port. Gotcha. You go ahead and change that. My apologies.
All right.
Okay. And why is that?
The lowest cost, quickest route to the root bridge.
And what determines the quickest route?
The cost.
Okay. And can you break it down to me, the comparison as to why you didn't choose the other link?
That would be that would require I don't want to use the word hops, but that would be
the cost.
Yeah, that would be, hold on, let me get so that would be 8. Yeah, the cost would be 8, the other route, compared to 4.
Got it. Perfect. So that's what determines the fastest way to the root. Perfect. Mm-hmm. So cost. All right. So what about switch 2? Who's your root port?
It would be 0.3.
Why?
Same thing. Lowest cost compared to the other option. It would be 8.
Perfect. Cool. All right. So now we have to finally, go ahead and identify our designated port between our switch 1 and switch 2, which they call the shared Ethernet segment. Okay. So which one are you going to be, forwarding, and which one are you going to be blocking? Because again, if we have both of them forwarding, we're going to have a loop, right, Brian?
Correct.
So
absolutely.
With that being said, which one is going to be blocking and which one is going to be forwarding, and as to why. I'm going to let you answer it first, and if I need to bring clarity, I got you. All
right, so this is the part where I was having trouble with prior to seeing that post from Claude. So if I read that correctly, Claude's post, the the highest MAC would block its interface. So that would be switch 100. Would that be the blocking port?
Okay. So yeah, so let me bring you some clarity.
Okay.
Anything with you, we're gonna keep it simple as far as election process.
Okay.
Layer 2, lower. Layer 3, higher. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the value. So whatever is lower is going to win for
Mm-hmm.
layer 2. Whatever is higher is going to win for layer 3. Okay.
Okay.
So
can you break that down? Can you break that down?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So Brian, help me out here. Okay. So if we're looking at, let's say we wanted to go ahead and select the root bridge, right? If we were looking as to what is higher, right? Who would win the root bridge election? Who has the highest value between all these switches?
Brian?
It would be switch 1.
Why?
Because they're all equal all the way up into that last set. So also 88 is extremely high. So that one is going to win if yes.
He's hilarious.
Exactly. Right. So with anything with layer 2, and it write this down for your notes. With layer 2, the election with most election processes at layer 2 is always going to be who has the lowest value. With layer 3, it's typically who has the highest value is going to win their election process.
Okay, got you.
Okay, does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. All right, so with the shared Ethernet segment, right? The shared link between the two switches that are not the root bridge, right? Typically, whenever we're selecting that designated port, okay, what we're doing, right? The first election process is who has the fast, they're advertising to each other, they're sending messages to each other, switch 1 and switch 2, and they're like, okay, who has, and that's these BPDUs, they're sending to each other, okay, who has the fastest way to the root bridge, right? They both have gig links, they're the same. So that first part, we can go ahead and mark that off because they already have the same. So now we need to go to a tiebreaker. That tiebreaker is what you said, but we're going to reverse it. It's whoever has the lowest bridge ID on this shared link between switch 1 and switch 2.
Got you.
Okay. Now, Dre, who has the lowest bridge ID on this link?
Switch 2.
Switch 2?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So with switch 2 having the lowest link,
designated.
That's going to be designating, meaning it's going to be forwarding. And with this, what's going to be the status of this link right here?
Block. Or is that okay? Never mind. Yeah, you got it.
I mean, it's going to be alternate, whatever you want to do.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
But it's, you're not wrong. It's called different for different spanning tree technologies. But again, it's still blocking, right? I'll accept that as long as you understand that. We don't have to get into the weeds about everything, right? But yes, right, it's blocking, right? So that's how you converge spanning tree, okay? Right, that's how you converge spanning tree. Now I believe you know how to do this. Now I'm going to throw you a doozy.
I knew it was coming. I just knew it.
You knew it was coming. I don't even know why you thought it was just about to be. I don't even know why you thought it was about to be. This about to be a short session.
Say, look, I already know he finna throw this thing way left. But it's a good left.
Yeah.
It's a good left. It's a good left. Okay.
And I had a feeling it was going to be this left.
So, Dre, the only difference is I'm going to walk through it. I'm going to do what I did with the fellas. Sorry, Brian. Dre wasn't there, so Dre gets his own one-on-one. Sorry. So Brian, you'll be all right. Don't be mad.
Bro, I don't like you no more, bro.
Hey, look, I got that. Look, he already told us. He already told us. Look, he said that we can help, but I mean, generally, I got you in the chat.
So, Dre, Dre,
Yes,
with the knowledge that you know, and just to let everybody know, and everybody that's watching this video, I've shortened the MAC addresses. MAC addresses are longer than this. I've shortened it for in terms of space and just to keep things simple, because the goal is to get the concept. It ain't
Gotcha.
It ain't to confuse everybody. So,
All right.
Dre, with that being said, with all these switches, this is just a layer 2 topology. Who is my root bridge? And
all right.
why?
All right. It's just for clarification, switch 5, that's a O and not a 0, correct?
And thank you for asking me that. All of these are letters. None of these are numbers.
All right. So switch 6 will be the root bridge.
Why?
The A's are the lowest, which is 10. All the other switches will be higher than that.
Perfect. I like it. Okay. So that being said, now we can go ahead and start having fun. So on the root, right? What is all the ports on the root bridge doing?
The rows are designated and they all are forwarding.
Perfect. Okay. They're all forwarding. So we're gonna make the forwarding green.
All right.
Keep it simple. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So let's talk about switch E switch 3 and switch 5. Let's talk about switch 3, switch 5, and switch 6. Okay. Let's convert that. Okay. So we got our root bridge, right? Which one is going to be our root port?
Hold on, which one are we doing first?
We're doing between switch 6, switch 5, and switch 3. So it's totally up to you.
All right, switch 3. I found switch 3. What's the other two?
Switch 3, switch 5, and switch 6 are the 3.
Okay, 5. Okay, got it. All right, 3, 5. I'm looking for. Okay, all right, cool. All right. So let's do. We can do 5. We can do 5 next. All right, so the root for that one. Let's see. Shit, I gotta do my some quick maths real quick.
Take your time. Take your time. Take your time. Take your time.
All right, what's that? 1,000. So that's gonna be 4 compared to 10.
Dave.
100. What's up, boss?
This thing looks so much clearer now. But I swear for M&M's the other day, looking at this, it was just like, okay, I understood somewhat, but now I actually have a deep understanding. From that deep dive, I have a great understanding of this now.
All right, so the root for switch 5 would be, the root port for switch 5 would be gigabit 1/1.
Why?
It's the lower cost compared to the 0/1.
Positive?
If I'm reading this correct. Yeah. Certain.
And compared to what? What's the other link it could take? There's plenty of other links.
Is it? Shit, my bad. I was going to read 0/1 and 0/3.
Hey, can I
look? Hold on, Brian.
Right, cool.
So Dre, I was asking you that just to throw you a doozy. Yeah. So
you got me second guessing myself, bro.
Absolutely, absolutely, right? Because you're an engineer, right? You're always going to be questioned. Plus, unfortunately, I don't give a shit about saying it. You're a person of color. You're going to be challenged.
Yes,
you're going to have to prove it. I'm not fucking with it. It is what it is. You can be an engineer for 3-4 years. A lot of my mentors, they still get challenged to this day. So you're going to have to say your answer and be resolute and explain why. Then you get that respect. So the methodology, right? Because we're going to keep this short. We're not going to go on a 2-hour session like we did the other night, right? So you see a whole bunch of switches in here, right? Right? And you mark this as a root port, right? And of course, I just asked that question. I said, hey, Dre, what about the other links, right? You always want to break these up, and you want to use the triangle method for each redundant topology. What does that mean, right? Right. And once you identify your root bridge, you can now go ahead and converge your topology into triangles. Here's what I mean.
This is what I thought scared me, Dre, the first time, just looking at this.
Hell yeah.
Look, I got a video I'm gonna send you that I looked at today, bro. When I tell you, it clarified this whole thing so much better after we went through this, and it racked our brain for about 2 hours looking at this.
Yeah.
It'll definitely help you, but I'll let you jump back in.
All right.
But just break it. Just remember to break everything down in triangles, because like when you gave one of your answers, just remember that based off the topology that you had before is a little bit different than this topology here because you have other connecting links.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind. Oh, your root port is only based off that triangle that you're working on.
Got you. Oh, so my original thinking was it was aligned properly then.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely. I was throwing you off.
Okay, got you.
So,
Dave.
So you see, hold on, give me 1 second. So, Dre, right? So we're looking at this, okay? And you see they're just split up into triangles, right? Because they're redundant links between each other. That's how I want you to attack spanning tree every time. I don't care what you see on LinkedIn, what you see in the real world. You see a lot of switches connect to each other. Break it down into redundant links or triangles. Once you do that, then you keep you identified your root. After you identify your root, apply the triangle method. Cool. I'm just focused on this triangle. I don't care about everything else. I'm just focused on this triangle. Perfect. Right. Okay, I'm done with that. Let me go ahead and go to the next triangle. That's all you have to do.
All right.
Okay. So go ahead and go back to the original triangle that we were working on. Brian, go ahead and say what you were going to say. I apologize. I just wanted to get that out before we.
Oh, no, I said what I had to say. I was just saying it was just typical Dave. Wanted to people off.
Hey, man, I want y'all to be better. I don't want y'all to be lackluster engineers.
Hey, I'm down for a challenge.
Okay. All right. So we got our root port, right? What about switch 3? What's going to be our root port there?
The root port there should be 0, 2. That's only a cost of 4. Is that 3, 0? Yeah. So a cost of 4 would be that 0, 2.
Compared to what?
Compared to 1/2, which would be 19, and 0, 0 would be 19 plus more.
So 119, right?
And 0, 3. Yeah. So 0, 2 final answer for the root port for switch 3.
There you go. Perfect. Okay. All right. Perfect. So we got that. So that being said, what are we going to do with the other ports on switch 5 and switch 3 that between the connections of switch 6 and switch 3 and switch 5?
All right. Let's see. 0, 1 would be that should be blocking.
All right.
Hold on. Shit, trying to word it properly. Hold on.
Sure.
Would it be as simple as to prevent looping? Or potential
yeah, that's
loops?
right. That's the whole point of spanning tree. But let's go deeper. You can look at your note. You can look at your notes and look at Google. Take your time. And I'm gonna give you a hint. Look at the cost. Brian, you want to give it a shot?
Somebody, the topology?
Just between switch 3, switch 5, and switch 6. What are we doing on the last interfaces between those?
So you have your switch 3 to switch 6, which is the root port, the fastest route. You have your designated switch 6 to switch 5. Those are accurate.
So I know for switch 3, 1/2 should be designated because it's going to be accepting the root port from switch 5.
That's your reason?
How else would switch 5 reach the root?
Look at all these other links in the topology.
But that port is the root port though.
What does that mean?
For switch 5. So the root port is using switch 3 to reach the root bridge.
Okay, we can select another root bridge, a root port. Just change the speed on the other interface. What's the why?
Brian, help me out here, bro.
What's the cost?
I got you. I'm trying to get my words together.
Me too. So are you, okay, when you say the cost, you're referring to the root port for switch 5, right?
No, the cost, meaning the link speeds. Compare them. We have our root bridge. We have our root ports, right? Regardless if we have our root ports, right? We have a connection between our non-root bridges. Okay? Now, whenever we're selecting a designated port, let's not even think about this root port that's right here. Okay? Who's going to win the election process, right? The one with the lowest route to the root, right? Yeah, lowest MAC is the second tiebreaker, but the first one is the lowest cost to the root, right?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So the triangle method, right? You're going to break down everything into a root and non-root triangle, right? So, for example, we're looking at this, right? We're saying, okay, this has the root port is 1 because it has a cost of 4 rather than a cost of 19, right? Perfect. At the cost of 19. Okay. Or via switch 5 to get to the root, it's a cost of 119. Okay. So switch 5, from switch 5 standpoint, perfect. To get to to go ahead and get to that switch, right? To get to the other switch, it's going to be a cost of 23, if my math is correct, right?
23. Yep.
To go from switch 5 to switch 3 to switch 6. Okay. You're looking at this. Switch 3 is looking at this and it's saying perfect, right? So switch 5 and switch 3 is going to go ahead and send those BPDU messages together and say, hey, perfect. We're looking at this cost to get to the switch 6 and switch 5. It looks like to get to switch 6, you have a cost of 100. We're not even going to use that. We're going to go ahead and take that down because we already have our fastest routes. It's not because switch 5 root port is that root port. It's because of the cost, and you guys have to understand that.
One of the questions I wanted to ask Dave real quick.
Yeah.
Each triangle will have 2 root ports, right?
Absolutely not.
Okay, that's exactly that was the thinking I had. I just wanted to make sure because looking at this, I seen 2 root ports on this one, but I was going back based off our previous topology. I was like, wait, not necessarily everyone will have that because depending on who you're connected to can have a blocking port or just different things like that. So I was just making sure that my thinking was correct before I said anything else. So I just wanted to make sure, clarify that.
Did I not answer it that way, or did I say it wrong? Because I thought I mentioned the route that switch 5 was taking to the root bridge was the quickest route.
No, you didn't. One, you didn't mention the cost, and then 2, I didn't get further into the triangle method that I'm about to tell you about.
Okay, got
And
it.
this is how you have to attack it, okay?
Gotcha.
So we know switch 6 is the root, correct?
Correct.
Okay, perfect. So what we're going to look at here is the reverse triangle method, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Whenever we're doing this, we have opposite roots, opposite root ports. Cool. So this should be easy to choose which one to block.
Mm-hmm.
Not, you know, some people it's kind of difficult. So what I found is easy is you have an invisible root bridge, and then you do the election process with the other two switches, right? We know this is the root, right? We know this is the root, but we're going to go ahead and make these, just for simple purposes, the non-root bridges, right? To go ahead and converge it, right? So now we're looking at these two, and we're going to say, okay, who wins the election process? Well, you know, switch 6, it has the lower MAC address than the other switch. We're going to go ahead and designate this one. We're going to block on this one. We're going to look at the cost. We're going to say, oh, has a cost of such and such to, you know, has a cost of 4 to the invisible root. And this has a cost of 100, you know, of 19 to the invisible root, right? And if we do that election process, we know this, you know, switch 6 won. Okay, so it's always not going to be agnostic as, okay, so we have, you know, the direct link directly to the root. You're going to have to be creative. And of course, this method that I learned from one of my mentors is you're going to have to create invisible roots to converge topology. Does that make sense? I know that was a lot. So you probably got to rewatch.
It damn sure was.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Brains
So that's
exploded a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. But once you get in the habit of doing the invisible root, then you're going to be like, shit, okay, now I know how to converge spanning tree.
Yeah.
So it's going to take time, but every topology is not going to look the same. Okay. Looking at this, once you identified your root ports, oh, we can go ahead and already go ahead and converge this, but you have to know the why, right? Because each topology is not going to be the same. Now, Dre, let's go ahead and go to between switch 3, switch 5, and switch 1. I want you to converge that.
All right. Let's see. And the green is designated, right?
Designated.
And yellow
green
is
is designated and yellow is root. Yep, absolutely.
Okay. All right. So let's see. You mentioned switch 1, right?
Yep, switch 1.
All right.
So you're working on now. You're working on the triangle between switch 3, switch 5, and switch 1.
All right. Switch 1 root port would be 03 because it's the quickest route or the lowest cost to the root bridge.
There we go. Okay.
Let's see. GG. Hold on. Let me check the whatchamacallit.
Take your time.
Oh, hold on. There you go. This is. What's that? GG and OO. All right, so here it is. All right, so switch 1, 0, 2, that will be designated, and
Why?
it's the lowest MAC address between switch 1 and switch 5, and gigabit 03 will be blocked because it's the highest switch. Excuse me, the highest MAC between itself and switch 1.
Hold on, explain that again.
The gigabit 03 on switch 5 will be blocked.
Why?
Because the link is connected to, it has a higher MAC than switch 1.
And what are we doing on gigabit 0/2?
On switch 1, that would be the designated because it's the lowest. Its MAC is lower than switch 5.
Okay. What about gigabit 0/1?
On switch 1, let's see. All right, so that one should be 0/1 should be blocked on switch 1, and gigabit.
Really? That should be blocked.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. All right, I'll go with you on that one.
Bro, your
What
tone
about
of voice
switch
be
3?
having my heart dropping, bro.
Hey,
Really? I was like, no, not really.
Hey, look.
Hey, I'm just going with you.
All right,
going
so
with
used to that.
my thinking is similar between switch 1 and switch 5. So switch 3's MAC address would be lower. So gigabit 0/0 should be that. Hold on, shit.
So real quick, Dre. So that connection that you're looking at between switch 2 and switch 3. Oh, sorry, switch 1 and switch 3. What's the difference between switch 5 and switch 3? So looking at the same thing that you just said. Because cost-wise, it's the exact same thing.
Let's see. What would be the difference outside of the it having a lower MAC?
So, Brian, you want to take a stab at it?
So I'm looking at just looking at the connections and stuff. So pairing the two, well, between the two, ultimate thing that I'm of course going to look for first between all the switches is going to be the lowest MAC address.
There we go. Okay.
Lowest MAC address is automatically looking like E between switch 3. So that means that G00 is going to be a root port.
So
between
who switched 3 in this invisible triangle?
Who switched 3? MAC address EE. G01.
Right, but who is that in this invisible triangle?
It's the root bridge.
There we go. That's the fuck I was looking for. Okay, now what are we gonna do?
So essentially, everything going out of that root port, that root bridge is going to be designated ports. So that means G00 designated.
Oh my. Okay, so I had it right. I just didn't word this shit properly.
Yeah, you got to think about it that way.
No. It was hold on, Dre. It wasn't you didn't word it properly. Dre, you only had one path to the root. I don't know what switch one was gonna do if the links dropped. You were blocking here. You were blocking here.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Oh, okay. No, but what I was going. Okay, so I had switch 101 wrong, but I was gonna put that one the opposite as designated though.
So Dre, remember going back to when I was telling you that you like making sure that your pairings, like you're partnering with the same with the neighboring, that triangle that you just did before, it's partnering with that same one. So you still have to have a way to the root bridge.
Got you. And that invisible root is now starting to click now.
Yeah.
There we go.
Got you.
Look. All right. So now you have the invisible root. Dre, converge it now. Because remember, the goal of spanning tree is to create one path to the root, okay? And one path for traffic, okay? So with that being said, right, we just need to make sure, right? Because spanning tree's other job is making sure that we don't have any loops. We have this invisible triangle. We don't need to block on 2 or 3 ports. We just need to block on 1. Just need to block on 1. We don't need to block on 2 or 3. And that's what you did on switch 1. So with the knowledge you know now go ahead and converge switch 1 and switch 5.
All right.
Also, remember when that root bridge is in place, that invisible root bridge, don't pay attention to any other ports, just that triangle you're in right there.
Did you say
And this is gonna be a trick one. No. Brian was right. So keep rolling. But this is gonna be a trick one, identifying your root port. I'm gonna let you go at it.
You sweating over there yet?
Yeah, because the damn these colors starting to fuck up.
Bro, forget the colors. Just
Yeah,
know exactly what you just know what the meanings of the actual statuses mean.
Is this triangle switch 1, switch 3, and switch 5? That's the new triangle?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Bruh.
Who's your root port?
You overcomplicating it.
I think I am. It's too many dots. It's too many dots, man.
Dre, who's your root port? Who has the fastest call to the root?
Okay, so what other ports am I looking at?
You're looking at your same 3, but it's the same concept. It's just I think what you're confusing is that first triangle you did was directly connected to switch 6. This one is not connected directly to switch 6, but you have to find the fastest route to switch 6. Which interface is going to get you the fastest route within that triangle to switch 6?
Oh, 0, 3.
My man.
There you go.
There we go.
It's so much information on this damn picture.
Bro, look, you ain't the only one. This happened to all of us.
Damn.
In the real world. That's how it's going to be.
Sheesh.
Okay. So, with that being said, now we have our invisible triangle, right, in our invisible root bridge. What are we doing with gigabit 0/1? What are we doing? Which 3 is our invisible root? Remember what Brian told you.
Well, that has to be blocked, right?
Right.
You gotta be sure about it, man.
No, it's not even that. It's not even that. Dre. Which 3 is our invisible root? If we're trying to select our invisible root port, which is going to be our designated port, right? In reality, right? Because we already have a root port that's directly connected to switch 6. Who has the lowest cost to switch 3? Which link? Gigabit 0/1 or gigabit 0/2?
2.
Gigabit 0/2 is the fastest way to switch 3.
Thought you said the slowest.
No, the fastest.
Oh, 0, 1.
Going by the cost.
Yeah, that's 0, 1.
There we go. Perfect. Okay. So if you're invisible. Brian, did you hear slowest? If it did, my apologies. My apologies. So you got that, right? So that's your invisible root port for this invisible triangle. Okay. So now we need to go ahead and elect who's going to be the designated port between switch 1 and switch 5.
Switch 1 and switch 5. Okay. So all right. So
who has the lowest cost going towards switch 3?
The lowest, shit, that's the same. So would you would go to the lowest MAC, right?
There we go. Exactly. Who wins that fight?
Switch 1.
Why?
The lowest MAC.
Man. So, which means
0, 3 is blocked
for switch 1.
Say it again.
What does that mean for switch 1 on gigabit 0/2?
Oh, that would be designated, right?
Perfect.
And 0, 3 switch 5 would be blocked.
Perfect. That's it. All right. Let's do switch 4. Dre.
Bro, come on, man. I get it. David, let me.
You got it?
That ain't gonna cut it.
No, Dre, if you're good, then we go ahead and close it
No,
now.
I'm just joking. I'm just joking. All right. Where we at now?
All right, switch 4.
Is it 3, 4?
So we're working on switch 3, 4,
Okay,
1.
I got it. All right, switch 4.
And take out this so you can see the MAC address.
All right, so quickest route from switch 4 to the root bridge.
That's what you're gonna do first?
Oh, we gotta do another triangle? Okay.
My man. Go ahead and do another invisible triangle. It's gonna come together, I'm telling you. Do the invisible triangle first.
Okay, so when we're doing the invisible triangle, we have to designate an invisible root, right?
Yep, exactly.
Okay, so that would be B. I mean, that would be switch 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right.
Cool.
This
Now,
thing
like
clicking.
Brian was telling you, now like Brian was saying, now go ahead and identify your root port towards switch 6.
All right. 1,000.
Well, Dave, I think you missed something, right? Now that you have an invisible root bridge, you can establish 2 other ports before that.
Brian, shut up. Let him do it. Damn.
Okay.
No, was that good information or not? I might need that.
No, it was. It was good information. I want your gears to turn on your own now.
Okay.
I got you.
All right. All right, so 0, 0, 0, 1 would be the root port.
My man, why?
Lowest cost, 1,000. What's that? 8 cost, a total of 8.
Yep.
A cost of 8. Sorry.
Versus what about if you go through gigabit 1/0?
Once that would be 4 and then 1923 and then more.
My man.
Yeah.
My man. Okay. All right, let's keep rolling. Rest your topology. So what do we do on root bridges?
Oh, all forwarding designated? Or the
right, exactly.
Yeah.
So what are we gonna do for gigabit 1/0?
That would be designated, right? Oh, that's this what Brian meant. This what Brian meant. I thought you said you had me. You didn't DM me or nothing, bro.
Hey, look, I dropped the hit verbally.
Talking about I got you.
All right,
I'm trying not to get kicked off the Zoom.
Never, Brian. I'll never do that to you. Come on, man. I'm not that disrespectful.
I know.
Jay, now you got your invisible triangle. Keep working through it.
All right. So
with that,
say it again.
Switch 3 and switch 1. What are we doing?
All right.
Gonna be tricky.
You said what are we doing with switch 1?
Switch 3 and switch 1.
Oh, switch 3 and switch 1. Okay. Let's see. Oh, so switch 301 would be designated.
Okay. You see it? See it?
Uh-huh.
He did something too quick. So,
yeah.
Okay, so remove that one. Remove that one.
Because now I'm looking at this. Yeah, something.
Yes. Which one you want me to remove?
The
all of them.
No, damn. Just the 0, 1 for switch 3.
Which 0, 1?
0, 1 for switch 3. That was the last one.
All good. So who's our root port, invisible root port for switch 3 and switch 1? Because that's what you got to do next, right?
So sorry. Okay. That would be 1, 1, 0 for that. So switch 1 should be the root port, right?
No,
switch
so
1.
our invisible, you already got your invisible root, you already got your root port for switch 4, right? Because that's what we're working on. Now, between this invisible triangle, who's our invisible root port for, meaning who's designated towards switch 4?
That should be 1, 0 for switch 1, right?
For switch 1, absolutely. There you go. Now that's there. Okay. All right. So what about switch 3? Who's your root port?
0, 1.
Okay. Now what are you gonna do?
Oh.
No, speak your mind. Speak your mind, Brian.
I can't. I gotta let you get it.
I throw me some kind of bone, man.
So look at your invisible root bridge. What happens with a root bridge?
All right, so 0, 0, 0 should be designated as well, right? So 0, 0, 0, and 1, 0 should be designated.
Is it?
For root bridges, right?
Yeah, root bridges have designated ports going out of them. So you haven't touched any other ports, right? So looking at your topology, your fastest route. So initially you're gonna. I'm just gonna say it. It looks to me that you're gonna swap those two. The root bridge, because switch 3 is directly connected to switch 6. That's the fastest route right there already. Root bridge is where that green, I'm not sure what that number is. To me, looks like right there, the MAC EE. The green is right there next to it. Should be the root port. And then the designated port should be on the opposite end of that. Does that make sense?
Really?
If my understanding is correct, yes.
Are you referring to the link between switch 4 and switch 3?
4 and 3, yes.
I mean, is it? I don't know. I'm confused on this one.
1000 switch 3. So the triangle is 1, 3, and 4, right? So quickest route is going to give you 3 to 6.
Yes.
So which one will be your root port from 3 to 6?
From 3 to 6, it's already marked correctly for the root port.
Gotcha. So looking at from 4, you're designated. So it looks like your switch 4 is designated. Your switch 1 is designated. What do you have left within this triangle to set up?
Just between 1, 4, and 3?
Yes.
The and 0, 1 would be blocking for switch 1. But I thought you said something was reversed. I thought you mentioned something was reversed.
I was looking at that link between the 4 and
3.
4 and 3. Oh, wait. This is where I got confused. That 4 and 3, because I'm looking at 4. Okay, the hops to get from 4 to 6 is what? 8.
It's only 8. Yeah.
But from 3 to 6,
it's only 4.
It's 4.
Mm-hmm.
Operating within that same triangle. I don't know why I keep thinking that no, they can't be swapped. So this looks right.
Yeah, Dre's right. Dre's been right, Brian.
Yeah,
Dre's right.
Man, see, look here, man. I can't do no more of this.
Hey, look, I got confused on that one because I'm how I got confused and mixed up that switch 3 within that triangle. I thought that had to be the root port there, but then I looked at the root port on the opposite side of it. Didn't make sense. So how you have it set up is right within the same triangle. I looked outside of the triangle.
Drew, you got it. I think you have it down pat now.
Man, I'm like, God damn, just when I thought it was clicking, I'm like, they telling me no.
Listen, had to. All right, so now let me do this last one. Let me show you how that if PC13 needs to communicate with, for example, switch for server 15. Let's go ahead and work it out. So now let me go ahead and converge it. I'm gonna do this one. Dre, you don't gotta do it. Y'all fellas can just look. I'm gonna explain each one. So I have my invisible triangle here. Who has the lowest max? This one. So let's go ahead. That right here. Perfect. And all right. Switch C. That's the fastest route to the actual root. And look at that link. It's like which one has that link? Which one has the fastest one? Going to 100 megs and a gig. So place that as the root point there. And then switch 1. You're gonna have root point there. Our root port is switch 4. That's already labeled. Perfect. So now go ahead between switch 2 and switch 1. That's the fastest route. And perfect. That one. Perfect. Now let's go ahead. Forwarding. That.
Hey, can you hear me, Dave?
Yep, I'm with you.
Okay. Your screen black?
My screen's not black. You can't see me?
You can't see it?
Can't for some reason.
I can share again. Hold on. Fellas, can y'all see me now?
It's just sharing out now.
Yep, there you go.
All right, I think I lost everything, but it's all good. I lost all the markings, but yeah, and we can probably end it here because I don't feel like marking everything back up. But yeah, that's typically it. That's typically it. You keep it simple by every 3 links between the same switches, treat it as triangles. That's it. And
yeah,
you go on and on and on and on and go from there.
Yeah, I think using those invisible root bridges is going to help a ton too.
Yeah, just do that and then take your time. You know the cost. You know the cost, and bro, you should be able to be good from there. And I think on the without breaking my NDA, on the exam, you're probably going to see that. They're probably going to throw out some ridiculous topologies like that. So break it down like that, and then just like Brian said, a very important thing. Every triangle is going to change because once you have a new redundant link, it's going to cool. So this one that was designated might have to switch that depending on that triangle. As long as I have one path, and a backup path, and I'm blocking on one, I'm perfect. So that's it, bro.
Got you. Much appreciated, man. Appreciate it.
All good, fellas. All good, fellas. All right, I'll go ahead and end it here. I will see y'all. We won't have another session until 2 weeks from now. So I'll get some good rest.
Might have an impromptu. All right.
All right, peace, fellas.
You host it. All right, man.
All right, man.